Hello, Jess here from All the Sparkle with a pair of bright and cheerful wintry cards using products from the brand new fun and festive release for Simon Says Stamp. I'm revisiting one of my favorite techniques for these delicate holiday cards, so let's get started. To start, I tape a piece of watercolor cardstock to a hardboard. Next, I smush picked raspberry distress ink onto a piece of acetate, spritz it with water, and smush it onto the watercolor paper. I let it sit for a few seconds and then remove the acetate. Next, I repeat the process with abandoned coral and candied apple distress inks, carefully building up layers of color. Sometimes I blot off excess water or use my heat gun to dry the paper before adding another layer. Once I'm happy with the coverage, I spritz the panel with water and blot off the excess to create lighter spots across the panel. Then I add splatters of candied apple and picked raspberry distress inks for even more contrast. I also add a few splatters of metallic red and gold paint from the fine tip palette and then let the panel dry completely. While it's drying, I die cut the gorgeous ALICIA Snowflake from white cardstock. I stamp the sentiment from Tiny Words Christmas 3 times onto black cardstock and heat emboss it with white embossing powder before trimming it down to thin labels with the sentiment label dies. Next, I take my Versamark pad and press it to one side of my snowflake, and then heat emboss it with gold tinsel embossing powder to create the effect of a gold-dipped snowflake. To assemble my card, I adhered the snowflake with liquid adhesive and used a few acrylic blocks to hold it in place while the glue dried. Once it was dry, I curled the tips of the snowflake up slightly for a little dimension and add a sparkly jewel to the center. Next, I add my sentiments with foam mounting tape and finish the card with a few more jewels and some Nuvo drops. My second card follows a similar process, but uses distress inks in Peacock Feathers, Mermaid Lagoon, Blueprint Sketch, and Wilted Violet. When it's dry, I spritz it with water and splatter it with more Blueprint Sketch and Peacock Feathers distress ink. This time I die cut 3 RINA snowflakes, 2 from silver glitter cardstock and 1 from white cardstock. I stamp the sentiment from Tiny Words Christmas onto black cardstock with Versamark, heat emboss it with white embossing powder, and trim it down to a thin label. I arranged the snowflakes on my panel to figure out placement and then adhere the sentiment with foam mounting tape. I used liquid adhesive to adhere my snowflakes and then finished the card with iridescent sequins and Nuvo glitter drops. And that's it! We're celebrating the fun and festive release with a big blog hop today, so head to my blog to comment and join the hop. Every stop on the hop is giving away a $25 gift card to Simon Says Stamp, so the more comments you leave, the more chances to win. You can find links to my blog and all of the products I used in the YouTube description below. And if you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button so you won't miss any of my future videos. Thanks so much for watching, have a fantastic day, and happy crafting! Bye!